Hi, welcome. This is October 20th, 2014. Is about 4 o'clock right now. My name is RG, and I'm an investigator for the public. And I am putting this video together to help the public come together and to change things so that the innocent can live and thrive, the just can be okay, and uh, not only to make the future better for my child, but also for everybody else and everybody who's just. Uh, so today's topic, we're going to be talking about the computer tech giants and business owners. And the reason why we're going to be talking about them is some of them have been promised different things and they're working against the public and against the good. And they have been committing a bunch of serious crimes, including fraud, domestic terrorism, sabotage, espionage, you name it. And the reason why I say espionage is because it's against the American public and the Constitution. There's other corporate giants which are good guys and they're heroes. And those are some of the people that I'm going to be talking about, or specifically one. I'm going to be talking about Mark Zuckerberg. I believe Zuckerberg to be a hero, and I believe that currently he's in a state of panic. And I believe he's in a state of panic because the forces out there, which are George Bush's group and his whole skull and bones and all the way down, like I talked in our previous one, they are making him feel uncomfortable, and a lot of other people that are up on the top uncomfortable. The ones that haven't, turned over and bent over for this satanic cult and through fear. So why would corporate tech giants, the ones that are right now kind of a little bit, being pushed around, and the ones that aren't being pushed around, that think they're safe, be on the chopping block? The reason why they would be on the chopping block, and like I said before, I've seen so much paperwork, and I've seen a lot of this, the plan before it even came out, and it's out there, and we have it out there, and it's in a safe spot. But without bringing it out, I can show you, and then you guys can come to your own conclusions. But they don't have the need for people, especially tech corporate giants. Why do they need a giant when they have all the workers? Why do they need somebody to be in their way to tell people and have control when they can, get rid of all the independent thinkers, get rid of all the independent people, and just have people that are just do what they say? Common sense logic would tell you that, yeah, they don't need independent people, and they are all independent thinkers, independent doers, people that make things happen, people that are influential. They're all on this chopping block. They're using some that they're going to try to use these to get to the others, but eventually the ones that they're using, they're going to have to go too, because this satanic pyramid is it's not it's not to not be in power. It's using the first rule of kings, which is it will make sure it's always in power. So it'll get rid of every single thing that will ever be in its way, any single thing that will stand in its way, and be independent. So some of the people that right off the bat I already know they're on chop block is Google, the owners. They may think that they are protected and they're covered with Sergey Brin and Brian Page. I was going to say his dad, but they are on the chopping block. They are more set off to the shelf, not in the immediate future. I know this because I worked for Don Valentine, and anybody who knows anybody about anybody, and I hope that Don Valentine sees this, and he would know this for his own self, and so would his pilots, and so would people like his friends like Bill Robinson, Mr. Reed, some of the other guys out there, that Don Valentine had problems with his plane, and they've been having this on the shelf for a while, but now it's becoming clear to me that with him out of the picture, they would have more control, and some of their big people, the 1%, think they're moving this, but there's some other people that don't really need people like this. Don Valentine is a self-made businessman. He's a self-made billionaire. He's a self-made 1%. He was a salesman, and he used to sell. He would sell semiconductors. He is deemed the godfather of the Silicon Valley, and they don't need him. I worked for a place where not only did they sabotage their communications, they were trying to get me to go along with it. I didn't, and then later we found that even their plane had electrical problems. Now looking at it in retrospect, they're just literally, common sense, or what I'm thinking is they wanted to get rid of him so they could have more control over the software company Google. And like I said before, we've all seen the owners of Google working with these electronic cars. They're doing all this stuff. They're working with the governor, who is also part of this. And, it doesn't make a difference. They're going to be utilized until they're no longer useful. And the other person I've seen that, he's just a really good person. And I think the reason why they made the social network was to discredit him. And now, not only living in San Francisco and seeing his work and hearing the stories and the personal things of Mark Zuckerberg, but Mark Zuckerberg's a really good person. He cares about everybody. And he has done so much for this country. And right now he's in a state of panic. Not only is he out buying places in Hawaii, he threw $25 million at Ebola. And, if something happened to him, immediately, I could tell you, not only with George Bush and his whole skull and bones, John Kerry, and down the line it'd be the chief of police here, Greg Sir, the DA, all these guys, the mayor, they would all be responsible. And, and a bunch of other cops. Anyone who's part of this group, anybody who's contributed would be responsible. And I'm saying this because I hope, Mark, you hear this, Mr. Zuckerberg, and I'll tell you is, you're going to be fine. There's no safer place than being in San Francisco, because nothing happens that doesn't get recorded. Nothing happens that doesn't get echoed. So stay tight, stay strong. And the best thing I can tell you is put on your Facebook, how you used to put where you were the person on everybody's Facebook or something like that? Put on the top, if they want it, local news for everything. So, for example, someone says something about cops, someone can see right up there, it's cops all across the United States. Someone sees something about an Ebola thing, they can see it for all across the United States. And maybe even you could do it for the world if somebody wants. The second thing I would say is start telling people how much hits they're getting. Get rid of the apps. When I say by getting rid of the apps, so that you can control and defend your product, and so people can get in, get the message in, and so that way it can actually get out. With the apps, we already seen, we've seen Microsoft say, you don't want apps. I'll tell you, and you already know this, with apps, the government, our KKK satanic government, has their own apps. They put them in there and they try to destroy and prevent people from getting their story out. Why? How do I know this? Because I have a computer science background, and as I said before, anybody who knows and been following me, and I'm aware of how many people are and what's going on, know that I know what I'm talking about. So I recommend those things, and I recommend going through your employees, people that aren't doing stuff or violating people's rights. I would tell you is they don't belong in your outfit. They don't belong in your job. And if we all work together, including Google, the owners, and every other tech company that wants to have a future not only for them but for their kids or cares about other people, if we all stand together, we will get there. And we will take these sick, degenerate government officials and no other word but piece of shit people and cops, and help them to get out of the positions that they're in, that they're destroying the American public, that they're going off to places like Sandy Hook and killing kids and setting people up and trying to destroy the Constitution so that they can hide their murders, their deaths, their domestic terrorism. As I keep you posted, I'll let you know more information, make some suggestions. You can take them. You don't have to. It's all in helping the just, and as I said, it's all in making America better. And until the next time.